Welcome everyone to Tiebreaker Night. We've got 5 bouts today, all to determine our final seeding heading into tomorrow's Winter Classic tournament. Surprisingly, we only have one man's matchups tonight, and that is to decide the 3rd and 4th seed, which is a drastic shift in competition dependent on how well you do. But we've got women's action on the docket tonight, and we might as well start off with our lowest seeded bout for 8th and 7th seed in the women's division. Let's get into it as we head to the Summer Lovin' Arena. Miami, Florida hosts the Wub Wubs as we ready ourselves for the battle of the 0 points. Alexa Bliss ready to compete in this tournament.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring from Columbus, Ohio, Alexa Bliss.
Division 1's overall loser, shall we say. Alexa Bliss has brought the Wub Wubs, but has brought some very solid competition, it needs to be said. And while it's not worked out in the long run of this tournament, she now has the chance to, well, raise the bar. Obviously, 7th and 8th will start on opposite sides of the bracket. And that means that you'll be facing either first seed if you're 8th. Woo! 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 Or you have to face the 7th seed. But for now, it's the battle of the entrance music, let's be honest.
And her opponent from Dublin, Ireland, Lyra Valkyria.
As the bird lady soars to the ring. Woo! 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 The wings in tow. She's struggled against the competition, but I have to say this. All of the stars in this tournament have had chances to shine, glimpses of success, but they've fallen short. And, well, 7th seed versus 2nd seed is a more favorable position. However, you look at the 2 stars that still have to battle for said seeding. You have to either face Julia, the undefeated Amethyst champion in this tournament, or Nia Jax, the irresistible force, the top dog in this tournament, the Ruby Belt holder. I, for one, would want to avoid that Nia Jax matchup, but because you're in this awkward situation where you have to start the show to determine your seeding, you can't really game plan for which side of the bracket you end up on. Obviously, you look at the rest of the field as well for the women. There's still seeding matchups for 3rd and 4th seed and 5th and 6th. This is the most up in the air bracket we have. And we will be going between each end of the bracket. We want to determine matchups quicker than later, as that's a blissful DDT spiking Lyra into the mat cover here. Gonna get a 2 count off of it. But yes, the focus will be shifting after this one to Julia and Nia Jax, our probably big boy battle that is on the docket. And I, for one, cannot determine how that one will go. Obviously, you have to kind of favor Nia Jax, but who is the last person to beat Nia Jax. When you look at the history, it was Julia. So, realistically, you have to put favor in Julia's side for that one, but we will get to that as the night rolls on. Focusing back on this battle. These two ladies giving it their all here. An Irish whip coming out from Bliss. Drop down. There's the leapfrog, and Lyra's going to be caught. Standing. No. For a second there, Bliss may have been going for that trademark standing SCO, but can't get it. Instead, hit with a standing moonsault press. Valkyria connecting with that, and she's looking to keep going. Pressure now onto Bliss, and she's sent for a run. Arm drag takedown. Landing perfectly there from Valkyria as she goes for the cover. Opting to maybe get the W here now, but can't get it just off that one count. Lyra maintaining control, scoops her up and slams her down. Pressure is certainly mounting here for these two ladies, knowing that this is realistically a death sentence position to be in, regardless of which seeding you finish. As overall, you'll either be facing two stars that are undefeated to this point. Only one of them can enter the tournament tomorrow undefeated, though. And we'll find that out. But overall, I kind of don't want to be in either woman's shoes, because Julia has just risen to the occasion and Nia's just been as dominant as ever. So regardless of where they end up, they're in for a difficult battle. Irish whip now sending Bliss for a jog again. That arm drag takedown from Valkyria, but caught. Clothesline combination. It's a 2K comeback for Alexa. Needing to strike back, it seems. Insult followed up with a bit of injury as well. Pinfall attempt off of that, and now could that be it? The answer's no. A slow count to a 1. However, Alexa seizing control of this situation, can't connect, and now Valkyria's firing off for some big shots. A scoop, and there's the slam yet again. Alexa put down in the drop zone. High rent district for Valkyria. She's set to fly. Executioner's leg drop. Not gonna connect. She keeps trying it and keeps falling short. It seems everyone has a number in that regard, and well, Alexa certainly is one of them as she hits Twisted. Sister Abigail. Down for the 2. Nearly the 3. But Lyra's staying alive in this matchup. Maybe for only a moment longer, because Alexa has the opportunity, but it's a 2K comeback this time for Valkyria. Hits the leg lariat. Now into the cover. Is that enough here for Valkyria? It's a down for a 2. Alexa rolling that shoulder up, keeping herself alive in this Winter Classic seeding tournament. Bliss sent for a jog. Spinning heel kick connects. Signature trademark Valkyria offense landing. Almost cementing the W. A 2 count. Only the end result of that, but it's still a prime setup maneuver. Maybe an exploder attempted there by Valkyria, not going to be able to land it. Now as Alexa takes her to the corner, loading some big shots, but caught. Neither woman landing. Well, they're landing big shots, but they're trading positions to do so. Snake Eyes. Then a cover here for Alexa. Gets a 2 count, but the shoulder barely pushing Bliss off of her. Not done yet, as now the strikes come flying through. Alexa, backbreaker. Connecting. And Valkyria's in the drop zone this time. Twisted Bliss attempted but missing. Neither woman able to finish off the other. Backbreaker again from Bliss. And again she exits the ring this time. Thought for a second she was going to climb up. Indeed she does. Up to the second rope. Drops the knees. Insult. And a bit more injury. This time from high elevation. She opts for the cover. 1, 2, 3. The Wub Wubs can continue. A win in the bracket for Bliss puts her into 7th seed. And a matchup against the 2nd seed. Whomever it will be. That will be obviously determined next. And I, for one, cannot wait to see how that shapes up. But we did see some close action between these two. And it's interesting that obviously Lyra now struggling to pick up form in this bracket, in this tournament overall. Granted, seeding is all that they've gone through over the past couple of weeks, but tomorrow it's do or die. One matchup, one loss, and you're out. Everything is down to the wire for these stars. As well, Bliss now enters the bracket in 7th, Lyra in 8th. Discussions have to be on, can they get the job done?
Here is your winner, Alexa Bliss.
What's more interesting is, while the seeding is determining positions, there's still opportunities to be facing someone you've faced before. And that could be pretty detrimental to these ladies. But we shall see as we head into a battle for first in the women's division. Only twice has Julia had to enter into this tournament first. First was Championship Night, our opener, Fallon Henley versus Julia, where the beautiful Madness earned victory. And now tonight, against the champion she dethroned.
Champion contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Tokyo, Japan, the prestigious Pure Wrestling Champion, Julia.
Julia has done it before to garner that amethyst belt around her waist. And tonight, she needs to do it a second time. Tell a lie, that's a sapphire belt. What am I on about? The sapphire belt, amethyst belt. God, I get them mixed up. But Julia has done it before. Can she do it again? Beautiful Madness looks ready. The champ is set for a difficult task. She's beaten a top billing star before. Now she has to face an irresistible force.
And her opponent from San Diego, California, the prestigious World Champion, Nia Jax.
The irresistible force has looked just that. Irresistible as a favorite in this tournament. The bracket has just been squashed underneath her every step of the way. I would say of the two divisions, they were both fairly matched up, but with an absence of a secondary champion in that one, Nia had a little bit easier of a time comparative to what Julia did. And I will say this matchup is going to be interesting. Both former NXT champions. Both formidable in the ring. Jax immediately on the offensive. Just trampling Julia early. Stomping into the back and just applying the pressure. Nia is and always will be a little bit of a dominant star. Julia, though, getting in an advantageous position. Jax trapped on the mat only for a moment as Nia fires back. Getting Nia down in the early goings of a match is certainly the most beneficial position to be in, but right now, it's not working out for the beautiful madness. Because she is the one trapped on the mat, and she is now elevated to new heights. Launched out of the military press. And Nia continuing to punish. Nice boot to the face there, but there's the strength, the grit, the determination of Jax to just stop Julia's offensive advances. Julia needs to find that chance to just take down Nia and get in some big shots. As it stands, Nia caught. This might be the moment. Missing the splash in the corner, but she pushes off. Julia cannot grab a hold of the irresistible force, but there we have it. Just brings her down, inverted DDT style. More of a drop than anything. Reversing the charge forward. Julia's finding moments here. Constantly being forced off of her. The beautiful madness caught again. Up and over. Back breaker from the ruby belt holder. It's hard to imagine that this was or is your first versus second seeding matchup, as these two just don't look on the same level as it stands in the early goings. Nia brings up Julia to the top turnbuckle. This is her new, big, innovative offense in her kit. Avalanching off the top with the Samoan drop. That has become staple in Nia's kit ever since becoming champion. And she has utilized it to great effect. And, well, she's going to utilize this to great effect as well. The one-legged powerbomb stacking up Julia. Down for the count is the Sapphire champion, who's able to survive that burst of offense from the ruby belt holder. Finally a shot back and an Irish whip. Julia's found a moment, an opportunity to strike. She sends Nia out. This is an awkward situation. It's no longer about the points. So countouts, disqualifications have more of an impact here, I feel, for Julia. Getting a countout victory over Nia, more beneficial. It means that you've got yourself first seed, even if it's not a pin or a submission win that you want. And with no championships on the line, that's even more beneficial to go for that option. Julia fighting back though. Hooks up Nia around the world. Goes Julia, bringing her down, and the crowd's starting to get behind the beautiful madness. Nice shots landed there onto Nia, and this could be a momentum shift in favor of Julia. Hooks her up. Hammerlocks and spins around into the driver. Pinfall attempt here for the beautiful madness. Has she done enough? The answer is no, as the count only reaches 2. Nia, though, lined up. That knee connecting Arrivederci. Good night, Nia. 1. A defiant kick out. My word. Nia. Just not wanting to go to bed. Catching Julia off guard with that one kick out. Defiance. Headbutt from Julia. She has Nia down where she wants her. Arms trapped, legs trapped, pulling back, stomping her down. Beautiful madness. Just finding a flow state. Big time boots to the face. Nia's struggling, but now flattening. Julia catching her though. Spins her around. Hammerlock DDT. Spiking the skull of Nia into the mat. A little bit more maybe. A second for good measure. Nia's on the receiving end of some heavy punishment here from the Sapphire Champion. Legs being torqued. Arms being crunched. This is just beautiful offense from Julia. May have bitten off one, she too. Nice arm drag takedown off the second rope. For a second there I thought she'd overcooked, but this might be overcooking. Scoops her up and brain busters her down. Into the pin goes the beautiful madness. 2 and a kick out. This is just insanity. A big boot from Nia. Trying to crush Julia. Missing. And now the beautiful madness on the offensive. Arriva Dershny connecting. Pinfall attempt. 1, 2, 3. No. So close to glory. Julia proving it's not a fluke that she beat Nia Jax before, maybe. Dominant in the middle match of the match, but now Nia's fed up, frustrated, trying to fire back into this one, but Julia's not going to allow it. Missing the dropkick though is Julia, and Jax dropping the elbow. Set up for some punishment here. It's Nia taking over once more. Brings her up, powerbomb position. Turns it, one-legged powerbomb. Stacks her up from the deadlift. Going for the win and gets no. Doesn't get it off that. That momentum gradually shifting once again, this time in favor of the irresistible force. And Nia Jax is utilizing that to great effect. Can't collide into Julia, but hits her with a lariat. Jaded maybe looking for it here. Takes Julia up. No, Julia stomping the foot. Escapes it. Sends Nia to the corner. Nia has a hold of Julia on the shoulders, brings her down, world's strongest slam. Julia up to her feet, catching Nia, who may have been going spinning back fist. Instead hooked up to hammerlock DDT. Spikes her. And the beautiful madness, the chaos is being brought into this. Trying to lift Nia, can't do it. Now Nia's gonna capitalize. Headbutt connects. The drop zone. Perfect for annihilation. 1, 2. No! How in the world has Julia kicked out of that? It felt done, dusted. She avoids the leg drop. Nia caught. Hammerlock DDT. But a consecutive. It's her best weapon. It seems to put down Nia, and she's utilized it to great effect. The big knee strike connects as well. Julia on the verge of an upset. Just going to unload big shots into the irresistible force. Nia caught, hooked up onto the shoulders. Spinning Michinoku driver brings her down. 1, 2, no! Somehow, it's not enough, but this, no! The Arrivederci caught. Nia sends Julia running out to ringside. The glimpse of success gone. Julia may have missed her moment. Arrivederci could have sealed the deal. Could have got the 3. So desperately needed for Julia to win this. Caught on the outside, but maybe not anymore. She pushes Nia off. Turns her into the steel steps. Julia returns to the ring. At a count of 4. Make it 5. Nia's not moving. We're up to 6 countouts. Beneficial. The count's gonna stop because Julia returns, seeing Nia's getting back up around the world, brings her down. Tries to drop the axe, can't connect. Nia sends Julia into stairs. The action. Fired up. Julia caught. Powerbombed into the floor. Nia not slowing down. Returns her to the ring. This is looking like it's it. Julia hooked up. Taken up. One-legged powerbomb. Stacks her. 1, 2, 3. Done and dusted. Nia gets a bit of revenge against the woman that took her championship, but overall, this was such a back and forth affair. It could have realistically have gone either way. That one, Arrivederci missed, sealed the fate of the beautiful madness. Well, seeding wise, this gets a little bit more crazy, as we will be seeing Nia Jax versus Lyra Valkyria round 1. There's a rematch, and another rematch is Julia versus Alexa Bliss. That leaves us with 2 other bouts that we need to determine. And we will find out who will face who in that side of it. Because we've got 3 more matches tonight. Obviously 1 in the men's division. And you know what? We'll round out the men's division next. As we see these replays playing out, you just get to see the dominance that both ladies had. But then this deadlift powerbomb, turning the tides once again in favor of Nia Jax. Defiance from Julia, though, met her at every step of the battle, but there's only so much determination, grit you can show before you're flat out of energy. Julia may have burnt herself out ahead of the tournament tomorrow. But what she has shown us are methods and means to bring it to Nia Jax, means to beat her. Only 2 women can say they have done that in this tournament.
Here is your winner, Nia Jax.
But yes, with this women's match out the way, let's head to the men's final battle before the seeding is concluded. Well, last night, this man earned a big victory.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Aberdeen, Washington, weighing in at 210 pounds, Bryan Danielson.
To set up this tiebreaker affair, now he gets the shot he has been wanting for a while. A win puts him up against a dominant foe. A win sets him off against his former friend, former opponent, Zack Sabre Jr. A loss puts him in the shallow end of the water, a matchup with the OTC. I would say, looking at the seeding, you would want to avoid Roman as much as possible. A win puts you in the opposite side of the bracket, and that is probably what both men want. Plus, I would say, with how Sabre has performed this tournament, you kind of want to face him. But that obviously won't happen unless you win this battle. Abyss looking ready.
From parts unknown, weighing in at 350 pounds, the undisputed television champion. He is the monster Abyss.
Altogether, Abyss has been a solid star during this tournament. He has fought back, brought it to a lot of the competition. I would say he has been, without doubt, probably one of the biggest overachievers. Him and Julia both fit into that category. With the level of competition in his bracket as well. Wins against Big Sexy Kevin Nash and Roman Reigns. The only man he lost to is, well, the man who had an interesting night last night in Will Ospreay. But that's not the focus of tonight. It is instead on these two nailing down their seeding as the monster taking early control here against Bryan Danielson. Last night out, Danielson connected with that heavy offense, but Psycho knee sealing the deal after a couple of label locks and a cattle mutilation wore down the Amethyst belt holder, Drew McIntyre. As it stands right now, the focus on this match is Danielson on the receiving end of some offense from Abyss. Nice fake out there before delivering that roundhouse by Danielson. Forced Abyss into pulling himself straight into that shot, but straight away, Abyss back up to his feet and just destroying Danielson. Big boot puts him down. Now, stomping the chest of the American Dragon is the monster Abyss. Abyss has utilized that black hole slam as just an impenetrable weapon in this tournament. He's now caught here by Danielson. Just going to look to maybe wrench back. No, turns it into a stomp to the back. There's the shots unloading here from Danielson. Some of that BCC offense. Just uncorking shot after shot, punishing the monster on the mat. Danielson hooks the arm, bridging over. Double lock armbar. Utilized great effect there, and then a snap German. Brilliantly executed by Danielson. He opts for the cover here, but don't expect the W just yet. He's utilizing this style of offense to, well, net some energy, some control, but he is caught and torture rack bombed. Pinfall attempt here for the monster. Could he have done enough? He gets the 2, and that's all it's good for. Danielson now needs to be wary because Abyss is rolling. May have been going black hole slam. Danielson evades. Takes the back and then lands a nice forearm cleave. Danielson tries to go boost psycho knee. Abyss just pushes him off. Both men really trying to land their big shots, but neither has been able to do so. Other than that torture rank bomb from Abyss. Now, as we enter this more so middle ground of the match, both men fairly even in terms of strength. Danielson looking to fly. Change the elevation of attack. Change the style of offense he is bringing to the monster to maybe get a better avenue into this match. Snaps the neck over the top. Now unloading some shots. Wearing down the arms, obviously. Labella lock and the kennel mutilation utilize a lot of punishment to the arms. Danielson wise with how he attacks with his innovative offense. Gonna now try and chop away at the big man. Boot caught. And Danielson sent for a little jog. Up and over the top. He catches the monster charging in. Turns back in and there's the kick. The yes kick's coming in. The crowd getting behind Danielson's flurry of offense as the lights out kick connects. Danielson into the cover. He's connected with some heavy shots, but not enough offense to put away the television champion. Danielson stunned to dissect, starting to edge closer to victory. He has the monster down, may have been thinking Labella lock, can't get it, instead eats a clothesline. Now fired up Abyss, looking to maybe end it here. Black hole slam puts down the American Dragon. Down for the count and only a 2 though. Visibly frustrated is the monster, but he has been pretty decisive. Hooks up Danielson a bit. Scorpion death drop comes through from the American Dragon. Danielson lines up the monster, trying to pick him up, can't do so. Stacks him up though, does the monster, catching him with the roll up and gets it. Danielson gets technical wrestled and outdone by the television champion, which gives us Abyss versus Zack Sabre Jr. and Bryan Danielson versus Roman Reigns. A lot of history there. And well, the men's bracket now finalized after this affair. We've got a couple more matches for you guys tonight as well. And why don't we find out how these two middle matchups will feel in the Winter Classic on the women's bracket side. Coming up now, it's Fallon Henley, it's Becky Lynch. Let's get into it. That is set to be epic.
Here is your winner. He is the Monster of Big.
And you can see visible frustration there from Bryan Danielson. He feels the count was quick, but the Monster earned the victory. Who will earn victory next? Well, the middle of the Winter Classic in the women's division needs to be settled. It's time to determine third and fourth seeds. A lot of importance.
It's scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Dublin, Ireland, the man, Becky Lynch.
Onto which side of the bracket these stars fall, as third seed will be facing the winner of Julia and Alexa Bliss, if they are to win their matchup, obviously. The favourable matchups fit on the other side. You get an easier round one if you win. Round two steps up in competition, and that's not where you want to be. Speaking of where you want to be, it's time to saddle up, boys and girls, because the double champ's in the house.
And her opponent, representing Fatal Influence from Chelsea, Michigan, the undisputed Women's World Champion and the undisputed Women's Television Champion, Fallon Henley.
We're saddling up for this one because, well, this is dominance on display. Fallon Henley has been an interesting character in this tournament. Struggling against most, but in the end, apart from a matchup with Julia, she has picked up victories in the battles. And tonight it's going to be a little bit harder. A fired up Becky Lynch wants this. Obviously, Lynch can utilize that briefcase whenever she wants to. But let's get it on. As well, these two ladies out the gates. Lynch in the red and black, Fallon in the pink and black. Early tie-up in favor of big-time Becky Lynch, as Fallon takes advantage in the second lockup. Wrist lock applied. Lynch, wise to the efforts of the tie-up, escapes it and puts in her own arm wrench maneuver. Applying pressure this time to more joints as the elbow and shoulder being pressured. Lynch caught. Fallon, headlock position, taking control of the second tie-up. The double champ, known for being explosive, known for being cocky and brash, knows how to wrestle. Obviously dominant as champion for a long period of time, has faced big-time Becky Lynch before for the championship, the Undisputed Women's World Championship, that is. Lynch fell short that night, and now on the receiving end of some heavy punishment here from Fallon. He's caught in the head scissors. Action spilled to the mat, and Becky's applying the pressure. Wrenching on it. Keeping Fallon trapped. Double champion squirming. And eats a shot to the neck from the boots of Becky. Lynch ties up for the third time. Who will get the better? It's Fallon pushing Lynch into the ropes. Clean break by both ladies, but it's Fallon on the offensive first. Leaping in, caught. Becky butterflies her into the armbar. Submission applied, but Lynch cannot keep the pressure on. Fallon escapes the hold. Inverted. Facebuster connecting. Fallon sent for a run. The Irish Whip going to send her into some trouble as Becky. Arm drag takedown. Opts for the cover here. Has the double champ down only for a 1. Lynch. Going to maintain pressure. Brings Fallon to her feet. Loads a shot and takes the arm. Again applying pressure to that joint and keeping Fallon in trouble. Wary of that. Disarm her. Big time Bex has maintained control through the early goings of this battle. Causing some struggle out of Fallon Henley here. The action's returning to the ring. Becky up to her feet, catching the double champ off guard. Back, drop, suplex, and nip up. Why not add the leg drop? Nice combo from the last kicker. The man on a mission. Caught though. No catching Fallon. Not able to strike, and now going to send maybe some punishment into the double champ. Tell a lie as Fallon fires off some shots of her own and hits a drop kick. Separation caused, and now punishment applied. Double champion taking control, finding some momentum. Puts Becky in the corner. Can't follow it up. Instead, eats a shot, and she's going up. Becky may have been thinking powerbomb. Fallon's thinking get the heck out of there. Not able to connect, but does escape the powerbomb position. Becky sends Fallon for a jog. Power slam brings her down, and this has been mostly big time Becky unloading big shots and causing carnage for the double champ who's hooked her up. Can't connect. Instead, it's a Scorpion Death Drop out from big time Becky. And Lynch has the champion reeling. Hooks her up. Man, handle slam. Brings down Fallon into the cover. 1, 2, and a kick out. Keep this match rolling as the action's not slowing down. Becky scales to the top, tries to drop that leg drop. No one's able to land that maneuver. And there's a reason why, because everyone scouted it out and they know how to deal with it. Fallon, the same, avoids it, and now could be caught though. Becky scoops her up and brings her into some snake eyes. The double champion struggling to find momentum in this matchup. Lynch fires or tries to fire some shots, but finally Fallon on the offensive. Hooks her up, pump handle, just suplexing her over the shoulder into the pin. Count of 2 reach, but surprise frustration from Fallon, realizing that Becky's had so much control, needs to end this quick. Sets her up, Hold down connecting. Becky saddled up, but she is caught. Down for the count of a 2. The double champion not done. Back into the pin. Not even a 1. Lynch gets back up. Caught though, step up enziguri, perfectly timed. Lynch may have been going for a big shot of her own, but can't connect as Fallon fires off the offensive gun first. Now, she's feeling it. The leader of Fatal Influence found the moment to strike, to shine. Becky caught in trouble. Not going to go into the ropes instead. Scorpion Death Drop. Reversing out of Fallon's offensive flurry. Stutter stepping from the double champ there. A little bit of interest. Count of 2 and his shoulder barely rolled off the mat for Lynch. Becky fired up now, coming back into this, swinging for the fences, hits the dropkick, that leg lariat. And now has the double champ down for the leg drop. This time it connects. Lynch hooks her up, manhandle slam, plants Fallon Henley down for the count. 1, 2, 3, no. Near fall after near fall in this matchup, back and forth we go. Who will find the win? And do or die battle between these two ladies. Leg, dropkick, lariat thing from Lynch connects. Fallon's not staying down for long. Her boot's blocked, but her elbows are not. Lynch caught, eats a dropkick. Now, the double champ's feeling it. Famouser. She saddles up and rides the head of Lynch into the mat. Down for the count. And gets it. A close affair, nonetheless. Both ladies gave it their all. Lynch showed early domination. When you ride with the champ, you best believe she's going to take you down some bumpy roads and cause carnage. This tournament's interesting for Becky. She's faced both Nia and Fallon, both targets of her briefcase. And yet, neither have been stopped by her. That is certainly worrying signs for Lynch. 'Cause who can she cash in on? Both ladies are able to beat her in a straight up 1 versus 1. It was certainly a closer affair with Fallon Henley, but as you can hear right now, it's not Becky Lynch's music playing, it is the double champs playing for a reason. Fallon able to weather the storm, come back. Famouser, good night.
Here is your winner, Fallon Henley.
Well, we know which side of the bracket each star's going to be riding in. But who they will be facing, that's determined in our main event. Stick around because we're going into it right now. It's hard to believe we're at our final seeding matchup for the Winter Classic tomorrow. And it's two ladies I feel are fairly similar.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring, representing the Judgment Day. From Elmwood Park, New Jersey, Liv Morgan.
As it's all about the crazy. in this one. The former Ruby belt holder. Ready for action. And possibly a matchup with either Becky Lynch or Fallon Henley on the card for both ladies. A win puts you in better standing. You get to face an even closer opponent.
And her opponent from Los Angeles, California, Victoria.
A win puts you in a matchup against Big Time Becky. A loss, you've got a date with Fallon Henley. Both ladies have faced Fallon Henley in recent weeks. Obviously a cash out. Victoria, a losing affair to the television champion that night. As for Liv Morgan, she recently lost to Fallon in a revenge matchup from when they faced off, believe it or not, at Summer Lovin', I should say. So this is all the carnage built into it. A lot at stake here for both ladies. Feeding is so difficult to look at as well. With a win here, you get a better side of the bracket. A chance to maybe make it to the finals. Obviously, the opening round puts you in a situation or you will have to go toe-to-toe in the semis with, well, a considerably higher seed. If obviously they beat the lowest seeds in the tournament. But as we focus back in on this matchup, Liv Morgan is bringing it to Victoria. And I'd say both ladies bring an aura of crazy. Obviously the Black Widow, sinister. As for Liv Morgan, certainly crazy cuckoo on a revenge tour type avenue. Now battling with Victoria. This is going to be a very close affair. Liv taking waist control here. Arm drag takedown from Victoria takes it down to the side control position on the mat. Morgan fighting back to her feet. A little bit better of a position for her. Gonna send Victoria for a little run. Misses a dropkick because Victoria just bats her off. Neither woman able to connect for the last few seconds. As now Liv taking control up and over onto the shoulders, but caught. Maybe. Tries to go head Hurricane Rana. Gets powerbombed by Victoria. That's the big thing in Victoria's game, is that aura, that confidence, that power, and raw athleticism. Hard to contend with. As for Liv, speed, agility, and creativity. Her means and weapons to get W's. Just rolls out the ring. Up, returns, and fires off a combo of shots. This is smart by Morgan to just get away from Victoria. But Victoria back to her feet and back on the offensive. Not giving any respite. No break for Liv. Now, just going to be punishing the former Ruby belt holder. Last chancery applied there by Victoria. And well, there's the cockiness, just stomping across the body to hit that moonsault. She typically follows it up with a secondary elevated maneuver. Lying in wait off the second rope, missing. Liv may be able to capitalize and able to do so indeed. Brings her down. Maybe for only a moment as now Victoria taking over. Pinfall attempt here. Only able to get a 1 over Liv Morgan. And this is a slow start to the matchup, but Springboard tries to drop the elbow, missing. Liv fires back with a big shot. Liv up, over, caught, power slam. Victoria stopping maybe a Slumdog Millionaire type maneuver from Liv. And well, Liv gonna get back into this roll-up. Saw that utilized by Abyss to earn victory in this tournament a few matches ago, and now Liv trying it. It's useful. Running power slam by Victoria. Trying to charge in, maybe not. Opts for something else. Separation, maybe some chance to recover. Liv had enough of Victoria just messing about and recovering. Back on the offensive is Liv. Morgan drags Victoria to the corner. Position reverse. Victoria puts Liv there. Just slams her head first into that top turnbuckle pad. Liv trying to grab hold of her, can't get it. Instead, Victoria up onto the shoulders with Morgan. Spins her out into the side slam. That's Oscar's music. And she's making a waltz to the ring. What's she doing here? Not involved in this tournament at all, but getting involved. Liv roll up, catching Victoria off guard. Distracted by Oscar, but it's only good for a 1 count. Still, Morgan hits the Oblivion. Into the cover. 1, 2, not even a 2. Victoria defiant to that one. And now Liv gonna feel not gonna feel the wrath of Victoria. Bites her off. Hooks her up. She's gonna drive her into the mat. Stomp to follow it up as well, and Liv is now rolling. Punishing. Victoria sets her up. Arm hip toss. Morgan scoops Victoria up, but caught DDT'd. Planted and busted open. The Black Widow ascends up and hits that floating moonsault with ease. Fired up now, dealing with Morgan. Happy maybe for a count out here. Liv's getting back up to her feet at a count of 3. And in the ring before 4. Victoria stood waiting, ready to pounce, ready to hit Liv with it all. Hooks her up and takes her up for the Widow's Peak. Snapping the neck into the shoulder, the cover comes through. Down for a 2, but that's all it's good for. Liv caught, hit with that leg drop. That 360 leg drop. Executed to perfection, and Victoria's not done. How about a second Widow's Peak? 1, 2, 3. An upset victory for Victoria. Spices up the bracket a little more, with Dunsky seeding in place, as it will be Liv Morgan, Fallon Henley round 1. And Victoria, big time Becky, for a rematch from this tournament already. Let's quickly run down all the card for New Year's Clash. Here are the matches you will see tomorrow night. Cody Rhodes, Kevin Nash, Abyss, Zack Sabre Jr., Bryan Danielson, Roman Reigns, Will Ospreay, Drew McIntyre. As for the women, Nia Jax, Lyra Valkyria, Fallon Henley, Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch, Victoria, and Julia Alexa Bliss. You will see the full tournament play out and 2 Winter Classic winners crowned. Who will win it all? We'll find out tomorrow night.
Here is your winner, Victoria!
Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a fantastic New Year's. I'll see you for the Winter Classic final at New Year's Clash tomorrow night. Peace out.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big